Kenya, an architect is not simply somebody who draws. Drawing. I know a lot of people think architect kazi yake tu ni kuchora. Yeah, we are not just wachoraji. The architect is a legally recognized professional who is trained, examined, and registered under the law of Kenya today to plan, design, and coordinate buildings for public interest. Let's not forget, and as we have seen in the news from the beginning of this year, which is most unfortunate, we've seen the loss of lives through buildings. I must emphasize that the architect is actually trained, to look out for this public interest, that is buildings. So we are registered by the BORACS, which is the Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors, and that is after a 6-year degree that gives you a bachelor's of architecture here in Kenya. And we have 5 universities currently that are offering. When we first went to school, we only had 2 universities, and in fact, largely it was only the Nairobi University that offered architectural courses, and then the JKUAT came in, Jomo Kenyatta. I'm an alumni of, a very proud alumni of Jomo Kenyatta University. But now we have 5 universities that are graduating architects. So I can assure you that the Board of Registration of Architects and Quantity Surveyors, although originally formed because the numbers were very few architects and few quantity surveyors, and were lumped together now to be regulated together with the QSs, that number is now beginning to change. In fact, BORACS, as of last year, I can tell you, the last examination they did last year had almost 250, going on to 300 professionals who have gone through the examination now to get into the market. So the qualification of an architect is first a bachelor's degree, which takes 6 years in this country. And then you have to go through supervised professional practice. And that is where BORACS now comes in, now to give you, after you do some mandatory working outside. After campus, you work for a couple of years, then now you apply for your professional exam, which is administered by BORACS. And in that, they will check on your site supervision, contract administration. They will teach you on approvals and compliance and coordination of the other consultants. Now, it is important to note that the architect actually coordinates the other professionals under him. He is the vision bearer of whatever it is construction that you want. So you're building your personal building or whatever building that you want to build, your architect is the lead consultant. And he will coordinate the other consultants who are under them. That is the engineers, the quantity surveyors, and everything. And this is because he is the vision bearer. He is the one who has been capacitated to see that building come to life in all the different aspects. In school, we are taught building design. We are taught construction technology. We are taught structures, environmental and climate study, planning and building law. We are taught health, safety, accessibility, and disability accessibility as well, and issues of fire. All that encompasses what an architect is taught in school. So when it comes now to coordinating and supervising, we overlook all those things. You have to ensure that your building that you have designed covers all those aspects. And that's why we become very critical to any client who wants to build.
So that's what should happen?
Yes.
What is the practice?
Yes, I'm coming to the practice.
Yes.
I'm coming to the practice. Now, one of the things that is tested at BORACS, of course, is technical competence, ethics and responsibility, and the ability to protect public safety. That forms part of what the examination now that BORACS takes us through.
Yep.
Now, an architect must be registered to practice, which means you must hold a BORACS certification. That is a valid practicing license. And they give us numbers to identify ourselves. So myself as Sylvia Kasanga, architect Sylvia Kasanga, my BORACS number is A1083. We are old, so our numbers are a bit archaic. A1083 is my number. And I cannot practice without that number. And besides just having that number, which is what I got when I graduated from BORACS, is every year I have to go back to BORACS and get an annual practicing license because I have attained certain CPDs. CPDs are continuous professional development courses. So you have to continuously professionally develop as an architect to practice. And every year BORACS will give you a certificate on that. That is very important. An architect is one of the most rigorously trained professionals, academically, practically, and legally. Yeah. And I can't overemphasize that. And our role is to oversee and lead the entire built environment professionals. So we coordinate the entire building process First, we lead and coordinate engineers. And what we do is when you come to me, I give you a concept. The next thing I must do is I have to onboard. With your consent, I onboard the other consultants. The engineer does his drawings. I have to look at them, overlay them, my drawings. I say, no, hii column songesha, kidogo, weka vizuri, kuje vizuri, so that the whole vision can come nicely.
So that decision is yours on which professionals to engage? Or I can tell you...
You can also bring your professionals.
Okay.
Yeah, but we will coordinate them. So we have to find ways of working together. Yeah.
Okay. So